Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning. Good morning, Jeff.
Yo, what up?
How are you?
I like that good morning.
I'm in a great mood today. You know that? I drove into work. There was no traffic.
Oh, no.
Nobody had gotten into an accident. That's always a good start to the morning. I didn't have any,
bad drivers
caveman road rage in me.
Yeah.
I felt good. I didn't spill my coffee. Thank you, Don Burr. Shout out to Don Burr.
I didn't have to warn you about a
coffee.
slip,
I'm still, super stiff in my back and my neck, by the way.
I feel awful.
I'm considering suing the bank, but this is a whole different conversation for another day. What I do want to start with, guys, Dave Burkett came out with a really interesting article. And I read through it. It was a really good read. Check it out on Twitter at Dave Burkett. Does the Detroit Lions' future success depend on Aaron Rodgers' decision? And I thought long. Dude, I really couldn't sleep thinking about this because, of course, Detroit would be better without Aaron in the division, right?
Right.
But does their future success solely depend on Aaron Rodgers? I don't think so. In a division where in that time Case Keenum had won the division at quarterback.
Right.
In a time where Mitchell Trubisky had won the division at quarterback. It's not all in Aaron's hands, and I think that's the wrong attitude, even though it's worth a discussion. I think the attitude is the Lions need to continue to take care of their own business. They need to build their own team. Get their quarterback, even if it may be Jared Goff for them. They can make their own decisions. And build a quality football team that can push for the division. Get to the playoffs. Win a division, hell. That's on the Lions. It's not on Green Bay. It's not on Chicago. It's not on Minnesota. Nobody dictates the Lions' future success outside of Detroit. Jeff?
No, I agree with you. I don't think the Lions should be basing their success off anybody in the division, but it is the truth partially. Back-to-back MVPs, a guy that hasn't missed the playoffs more than twice in the last decade. And along with that, the man has thrown 85 touchdowns in the last 2 seasons alone. So obviously, yes, in a way, if he were to retire or leave the division, it would benefit the Lions greatly. And the reason for that, in my opinion, and despite what people say about him having a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you talk about Matt LaFleur, he's still a hell of a coach. And I get it. We don't really know what he looks like without Aaron Rodgers, and that's something we're going to have to find out. But if Aaron Rodgers were to retire or leave, who's the best quarterback in the division? You have Kirk Cousins and Jared Goff, and then obviously Justin Fields in his second year. I think the division's obviously more wide open. But with Aaron Rodgers staying, that shouldn't be the mentality the Lions have. Our success is based solely on Aaron Rodgers because if you see where the Packers are going, especially now, their best teams, in my opinion, were behind them. Obviously, they're running into more and more cap dysfunction down in Green Bay, but they're going to figure it out. But the bigger picture for me is the Lions and what they're building has nothing to do with the Packers. It has nothing to do with it. The problem I see, and you've seen it in the recent years, you've been able to beat Aaron. The problem is, obviously, Aaron, they go to the postseason every year. So would that benefit the Lions in terms of them being able to break out and make the postseason? Partially, yes, because you'd have less competition in the division. But in my opinion, it would be more the Lions would probably make the postseason quicker without Aaron Rodgers. But I don't think the success solely depends on if Aaron Rodgers were to leave. I mean, that probably is the wrong attitude to have. I think if you have Dan Campbell, you have the right guys in place, you have a suitable quarterback, you can still win, despite not having a guy like Aaron Rodgers. It just depends on what team is around your quarterback. And right now, Lions are a little behind, but over the next couple of years, Adam, I don't think it'll matter if Aaron Rodgers is in the division or not. That shouldn't be the mentality. They should build a good enough team. Right now, they're building the foundation to compete despite not having that A quarterback like Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you draft one. Who knows? But even with Jared Goff, Adam, I don't think the success solely depends on Aaron Rodgers. At least it shouldn't. That's what Lions fans and Lions front office should be thinking.
Yeah, look, I think we're on the same page. Theoretically speaking, your success depends on you. Right? You need to draft well. You need to be able to manage and maneuver in the cap.
Right.
You need to be able to bring in talent, unrestricted free agents, trade for them, sign free agents, whatever it may be. You need to do that. Aaron Rodgers doesn't do that for you. Aaron Rodgers doesn't throw the football for you. He doesn't run the ball for you. He doesn't play defense for you. He doesn't coach your football team.
But I get why people are worried.
I get it. Look,
listen, he's been with Matt LaFleur 3 years. He has 2 MVPs. Like, and we can say a lot about Aaron, but Matt LaFleur, like, he
should be one MVP.
But listen, the facts are the facts. And with Matt LaFleur, he's gotten better, obviously. So I get where the worry is. He's a better quarterback with Matt LaFleur. They're a better team. You've seen it, 13-3 the last 3 years. So I certainly get where the worry is. But the big picture shouldn't be dependent on what the Green Bay Packers do. That's the wrong mindset to have. It should be, how can we get Jared Goff in a better position where you can at least contend for the division? And I think that certainly is in the next 2 years. At least it should be if this team is where we're expecting them to go.
Well, let's shift gears a little bit. I'm sure you guys are up to speed on what happened yesterday.
Oh, God.
This so-called football league had a draft.
Hey!
The USFL held its draft, and of course the Michigan Panthers do what a Michigan football team would do. They select Shea Patterson #1 overall.
Yay!
Shea Patterson looks nothing like Shea Patterson did at Michigan. This is my concern, guys. I told you I'm going to give it 10 offensive and 10 defensive snaps. The quality of play is going to determine if people catch on to the USFL. The quality of play is going to determine how long it survives, or if it's just a gimmick, Fish. They draft Shea Patterson in the first round, and towards the end of the last round of the first draft day, they draft Paxton Lynch.
Ooh.
These are has-beens / wash-ups / could never make it / not good enough / suck. That's what these players are. I was looking through their entire draft from the edge rushers to all the O-linemen they took, right? Because I knew the quarterbacks. Never heard of them in my life. Some of the universities they attended, I've never heard of in my life. Now, they may be ignorance on my end, but excuse me, I don't spend my day going through all the thousands and thousands of universities.
As an average consumer, you're not going to know, a D3 college somewhere in Idaho. Like, it's the reality of it. I think you made a great point about the stars are going to be a big part of why this league succeeds. You got to have guys that can not only make plays, but Shea Patterson, I mean, that's your #1 overall pick. You're in a tough spot. But
I don't want to hear Shea Patterson was just fine at Ole Miss up until he showed up at Michigan. Just so you know, there's a quarterback that I do not like currently in Ann Arbor that has played to the X degree much better than Shea Patterson. I don't want to hear it. McNamara played much better for Michigan than Shea Patterson did. Not even a conversation. This guy selected #1 overall. Jeff, I may put my hat in the running.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people I've never heard of. And that's my concern with the USFL. I'm really trying to give it a chance. I really am. I know I may seem cynical this morning, or I just don't care, or it's funny to me. I'm really trying to give this thing a chance. I thought the way they held the draft was cool. I believe it went quarterback, 5 offensive linemen. No, excuse me, quarterback, 3 defensive edge rushers, 5 offensive linemen, and then a quarterback to end the day.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I thought that was interesting. It was kind of cool. You have to select this position. That was interesting. Now, will the NFL draft ever be like that? Absolutely not. But it's interesting, and they're all going to be down in Birmingham, Alabama. All right? They're all going to be in their own, they're like a mini bubble. They're all going to share facilities. They're all going to share the same stadiums. And they're going to play football. Great. Does the USFL make it to the point where the Michigan Panthers are playing at Eastern or Western or Ford Field or somewhere close? Does that ever happen? I don't know. The USFL, to me, look, great draft day. Yay. I get something to talk about on the show. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad about it, but I mean, for me, what the USFL needs more than anything is the baseball lockout to continue.
Yeah.
Because I think that'll give them more eyeballs once April comes around. Seriously.
And also, I have questions about. And listen, you could say what you want about the XFL, but they just signed the deal with the NFL in terms of partnerships. And what is that going to mean for the USFL? Like, you have the XFL starting up, I believe, next year. So they're coming up soon, up the pipeline. And the USFL is just trying to get a product out there that people can sink their teeth in. And whether or not that's with Shea Patterson with the Panthers or whatever, the big part is going to be how. Like you said, how can you get these guys out of Alabama and start playing on not only bigger stages, but getting more people to buy in? And I think a big reason why people in Michigan are so invested is because we have the Lions. And the Lions haven't really been having success, so we're looking for another football product we can tune into. What does the teams elsewhere think of? Other markets like LA or Seattle, those types of teams. What do they look at in terms of their USFL team? I think it's a little different, but I'm worried about what the USFL looks like when the XFL comes back and how they compete, because spring football, it's tough. It's tough to survive, especially during this time, because there's a reason why there's that time of the year for football. You have college football, you have NFL, and then you have high school football, and then now you have spring football. So like you said, you better hope the MLB keeps the pause on the lockout, and the only sport we're able to tune into is essentially either playoffs in NHL or NBA, or they have the USFL. So they're going to have to really go above and beyond and find stars, not stars, but guys that maybe were overlooked or had mistakes in college or didn't work out in the NFL that you can give another opportunity to and start having a pipeline to the NFL. Because if none of these guys end up doing anything, no one's going to be tuning in.
Joey 2 times in the chat brought up Mason Rudolph. If I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I'm ready to vomit. Just considering the idea that he may be the number 1 quarterback next year. But in the USFL, Shea Patterson, Mason Rudolph walks into any of those teams and he's a starting quarterback. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think of this product. I really don't.
Mason Rudolph might be the best quarterback if he walked in the USFL.
It's mind-blowing. I might be the best quarterback if I walked into the USFL. Like, that's my concern. You guys may think I'm joking, but the quality of play is going to matter.
That they want him.
The quality of play is going to matter.
Yeah.
It's going to matter. But you know what? You know what else matters? The quality of conversation. Mm-hmm. And nobody does it better than the sports marketing agency, Jeff.
No, you're absolutely correct. And not only that, SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues around mental health and substance use disorder. With the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues. And that's why, soon coming to Woodward Sports, is the sports marketing agency podcast called This is the F Word series on fentanyl. If you are struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Please go to thesportsma.com and make sure you tell them that your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer.
We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D, with spotless, sanitized rooms and trained and certified training tongue twister, professionals. Join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They beat all their competitors by $5. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold, Design Skin, California Tan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. I know Fish absolutely enjoys that. ChiliPeppersTanningsalon.com, guys, for the hottest bulbs, hottest deals, darkest tans, and your vitamin D headquarters. Check them out. That's Chili Peppers Tanning Salon. Maddie, good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I love the glow this morning. Shining this morning. Oh my goodness. You know what else isn't shining, actually? Me? I'll kill you, Fish. The NBA's 75th anniversary list, all right? The top players, the best of the best, Jeff, the best 75, right?
I guess. Yeah, that's
So I have a question for you. I'm just going to play like a little bit of blind resume, okay? Mm-hmm. I'm going to read off this guy's accomplishments, and you guys tell me if you think, that's kind of important or relevant to be in this list, okay? 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-NBA, 6-time All-Defense, World Champion, 2-time Rebounding Leader in the NBA. He's led the league in blocks before. He averaged over 3.2 blocks during a 3-year stretch where he was one of, if not the greatest defender in the NBA, or at least it had seen for 20, 30 years.
And he's a Hall of Famer.
I forgot to add he's in the Hall of Fame.
So I don't know what they're judging this off of.
And he is a 4-time All-Star. And if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, it's Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace was snubbed from the anniversary list. And not only was he snubbed, he represents one of 5, right? Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince. Now, do they deserve to be in the 75? Probably not, but Ben, out of all of them, do. And why that's important and why I bring up that 2004 basketball team, that is the only championship team in NBA history
Preach.
to not feature a top 75 player.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I love Dirk. I love all these guys. All great. Dirk's top 5 power forward of all time minimum. He's unbelievable. When we talk about Ben Wallace, you're telling me he's not in the 75? How do I take that list seriously? How do you have Jeff, you call him a walking bucket? James Harden, he's 50. To me, he's a walking KFC bucket. He's not even in the top 75 yet. Not him, not Kyrie Irving. Damian Lillard in the top 75? Over guys like Ben Wallace, who are accomplished, who are champions? And not forget the championship. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Does that not hold any weight? Dwight Howard is on the list, but Ben Wallace isn't? Jeff, what the hell are we doing here?
No, it's inconsistent. It's actually embarrassing. I'll go that far because the NBA, you're doing a 75, anniversary, top 75 players, and you don't have on any player from the 2004 Pistons, and obviously that being the only championship team, you don't include any players. And you might have an argument for some of those guys, but you brought up Ben Wallace, and we could talk about the Pistons beating the same Lakers team that won 3 straight. And they wanted a 4th championship. The Pistons stopped them. Not only that, they made the finals the very next year. And if it wasn't for Big Shot Rob, they'd have 2. So I don't know what they're grading off of. All I know is Ben being one of the most dominant defensive players at the position, undersized for that matter, Hall of Famer, and you don't have him on the top 75 players. It honestly ruins credibility for them. And if you want to look at it, who else made it? Okay, Anthony Davis. Okay, a guy who, without LeBron James, probably would have won nothing. And a guy who can't even stay healthy, has never played a full season in the NBA. Okay, if you're telling me he's better than Ben Wallace, so be it. And then we also have Damian Lillard, which, I'm not going to crap on Damian Lillard, talented player. You mentioned James Harden. When did the NBA not take into account winning and being an important piece in winning for your team? Apparently, it's a all-stat decided, selection. And with Ben Wallace and that 2004 Pistons team, they were the only team without a superstar to take down one of the best teams in NBA history with Shaq and Kobe. So it makes 0 sense to me. It honestly is embarrassing. And I don't get how Ben doesn't make it.
You guys brought up in the chat, offense sells. Offense is sexy. Dennis Rodman is appreciated. And I love that. And I love that he was ranked over Melo, ranked over Bill Walton, even Chris Webber. Thank you. Thank you for appreciating what Dennis Rodman did for the game. You're not going to do that for Ben?
Right.
Dude, look at the Damian Lillard, 68. Alonzo Mourning over Ben Wallace. This is impressive. Alex English at 71 is a tragedy, actually. Because he led the NBA in the 80s in scoring. I mean, he was unbelievable. Yeah. He was the definition of a walking bucket. He's at 71? James Harden's above these guys. Pete Maravich at 73. Again, a bit low for me. But okay, I'm willing to look past it. Ben Wallace is not on this list. A 4-time Defensive Player of the Year is not on this list. What the hell has Melo accomplished? Yeah. Led the league in scoring? Okay, what else? What has Carmelo Anthony accomplished? When we talk about the greatest players to have ever played the game of basketball, we all do the same thing. We take individual performance, statistics, team accomplishments into consideration.
Of course, yep.
Ben Wallace gave me the statistics, whether you like it or not. You know why? Because he did what he was great at. Rebounding, defense, blocks. Those are the stats. You want to look at his points. Okay, what? That's your argument? Well, he didn't score enough. It wasn't his job. That's not what made him great. He is one of, if not the greatest defenders. He's part of that top 5 greatest defenders of all time.
But that's what I'm not, because if you, let's say Dennis Rodman played that type of defense his entire career, but didn't win anything. Like, he's still a great player, but I'm not saying winning is the only measuring stick of putting a guy into the top 75. You have to look at that as a attributing factor, and especially with Ben Wallace, NBA champion. And I'm not even just talking about NBA with Ben Wallace. We're talking about Dame Lillard, Anthony Davis. These guys now, Anthony Davis just won an NBA championship. Yeah, you talk about in the bubble down in Orlando, the Mickey Mouse ring. But I'm talking about that has to be considered. And I don't get how Ben Wallace, I respect Dennis Rodman. I think he deserves to be up there. But I just can't process that. You don't have a single guy from that 2004 Pistons, even in the top 75. It just doesn't make sense to me. And I get Carmelo.
Out of everybody on that team, I don't think Billups deserves to be there. I don't think Rip deserves to be there. Obviously not Tayshaun. Sheed, that's a tough one, but I'd leave him out if it's my list. I would.
No, I would put Chauncey.
But Ben has to be in.
Ben
has to be in. This is not even a conversation. I can't believe it, actually. And the fact that you have scrubs, bums, players that don't even belong in the top 500 on this list, like a Russell Westbrook. That's a whole different problem. That's a whole different problem I have with this list. James Harden at 50, Jeff? What the hell has James Harden accomplished? Outside of getting to the free throw line 15 times a game. What has he accomplished? Do we not take winning into consideration anymore? Do we just not? Russell Westbrook is there? Why? Why? Because you want to feel bad for him, MVP? Because KD left his loser ass?
And that's honestly the sad truth. Russell Westbrook's, I mean,
he got a pity MVP because he averaged a triple-double. Oh, my God.
That's why he's there. Multiple triple-double seasons. I mean, that's it. And you agree with, whether you agree with it or not, it's honestly just how it works. It
Anthony Davis. You brought up Anthony Davis. Okay. I'm going to try to remain calm. What has Anthony Davis accomplished, Jeff? Just a fun question here. In his career.
We'll take away.
He's a champion. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, with LeBron.
He's led the league in blocks, 3 times? Okay. Wow. That's it.
Yeah.
He's all-time 75. He doesn't have a defensive player of the year. He hasn't made as many all-defenses as Ben Wallace. Oh, excuse me. How could I forget he was an All-Star Game MVP? Oh, Adham, shucks. I messed up, right? All-Star Game MVP, he should be in, right?
I don't give a damn about that. Kevin Love is a champion. Okay, throw Kevin Love in there. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this stupid crap with AD. Listen,
AD should not be in there again over Ben Wallace.
That's the point. Yeah.
We're talking centers? Who are the centers off the top of my head that deserve to be in over Ben Wallace? Shaq, Wilt, Bill, Kareem, Hakeem. God, my brain's going to go foggy here. Basically, I can probably name 10 max.
Yeah.
And they're all in that list except Ben. Again, this has nothing to... I don't care about the Detroit Pistons today. I don't care at all. We're talking one of the most accomplished defensive players to ever play the game. And he's not on the All-75 list? How? And we have players like Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard. What the living mother F has Damian Lillard done in the NBA outside of hit a few really good shots to close out playoff series? What else?
He's just performed.
What has he done? Put up points?
Yeah.
Great. He's no AI. AI gets in that list for a reason. You know him by the name AI. Nobody... Dame time. Kids who play Fortnite do that stuff. Nobody gives a damn about Damian Lillard.
I like Damian.
You can like him. He's not 75.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean,
He's not in the 75.
this list is incredibly
They
inconsistent.
got one thing right, leaving Kyrie Irving off. That was it. The one thing they got right was leaving Kyrie Irving off the list. Thank God. They did something right. Oh, and they had LeBron 2 to Jordan 1. Great. Good job. You guys crushed the list. You got everything else wrong. Kobe 10. We sleep on Kobe. Kobe at 10. God, I don't even care that he's dead now. Like, Kobe. You guys not understand Kobe Bryant and what he did in the NBA? Like, I swear to God, it's like we don't remember how things unfolded.
Yeah.
Like
Closest
the
we've
guy
seen
did
to
not
Mike. Yeah.
go to 4 straight finals with Shaq. Like the guy did not go to 3 straight finals, I believe, with Pau Gasol and Andrew Bynum.
Yeah, he won another finals.
He was 5-2 in the finals.
Yeah.
Oh, nobody cares, right? Oh, because he had Shaq. Tim Duncan had Greg Popovich, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. But we treat Tim Duncan like a savant. And look, he's the best power forward of all time. But we're just not going to give credit to people? Like, this whole list doesn't make sense to me. Like, for me, Kobe's in my top 5, top 6. He's 10 on their list, but for me, he's top 5, top 6. There's no Kobe. There's no Ben Wallace. Well, go find me another Ben Wallace.
Undersized at that position.
Go find me another Ben Wallace.
8,
Seriously,
6'9".
when we talk about the best, right?
Yeah.
It's guys like, oh man, we'll never see that again. At least in that way, right? You'll never see another Dennis Rodman. That's why he's on that list. Damian Lillard, James Harden's the same goddamn player. Russell Westbrook, the same guy. They all the same. They put up good numbers and they do 0 for the win column. 0. What a tragedy.
Yeah. Dame doesn't.
Ben Wallace off the list, huh? That's what we're doing this morning.
I know.
I like Ryan's list. Jordan, Kobe, then LeBron. I mean, it's tough to argue against LeBron not at 2, but
yeah,
I don't mind it. Putting 10 at Kobe is crazy. Yes, I agree. Draymond is better than Ben Wallace.
Oh, my God.
AC, I don't know if you're a Michigan State fan, or I don't know if you just woke up and decided to do cocaine this morning. Draymond Green, I will say, offensively contributes much more efficiently and effectively, obviously, than Ben Wallace ever could. Don't give me that Draymond is better than Ben, because he's not 20% the defender Ben Wallace is. And this isn't, oh, back in the day we used to play defense. Draymond Green is a very good player. Not better than Ben Wallace. He's not a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. And last I checked, whether you want to admit it or not, Draymond Green is one of those little piglets that suck on Steph Curry's little tit and ride on the coattail to championships. I knew Maddie would like that one. Draymond Green, again, important, so valuable. He's not even the 2 on his own team.
No.
Ben Wallace was the 1 or 2 in terms of importance. You don't believe me? Steph Curry led them to the playoffs, or excuse me, the play-in without Draymond.
Yeah, if you put Draymond in another team situation,
Draymond is a benefit of his surrounding. He deserves all the praise because he's done such a phenomenal job. I won't sleep on the defender he is. I won't sleep on his ability to contribute and distribute the ball. He's not better than Ben Wallace.
No.
I would have
Jesus
loved to
Christ.
sit in that room when they decided this list.
I would have loved to have been in there too
Yeah.
with a baseball bat.
The problem I have is just how inconsistent it is. I don't know what the measuring stick
That's
is for
what
these
I'm-
guys. Like,
yeah,
is
that's
it
what
is
I'm
it winning or solely, or is it statistics solely?
I
or
think
is it
we got to
both?
take it all into account.
But they're not doing that. That's the problem. Because you're taking James Harden, Russell Westbrook. I get Damian Lillard. Okay, out of the 3, at least James and Russell have an MVP. Dame doesn't even have an MVP. He has never won. He always been as an all-star.
I'd rather be ran over
So you're telling me-
multiple times on Woodward than ever give a list with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Damian Lillard in it. What a travesty. Such disrespect to anybody that's ever played the game. Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook. What a bum. Averages 43% from the field. 30% from 3. That's your MVP, right? Oh, well, he plays hard. He gets triple-doubles at the expense of his own basketball team. It's not like, oh, he got clutch rebounds, clutch assists. No, the guy just always has the ball in his hand. Maddie, kill me. Please.
All right, guys. Well, I won't kill you, but I will take you on a break. But before we go, we do need to hear about Lady Jane's, please.
Well, guys, if you need a haircut, I know the place you can go, and that's Lady Jane's. Because, guys, let's be honest, we like simple stuff. We do. And not only that, but we like football. Unfortunately, we don't have NFL football, but maybe some USFL football. And for that, we like also things uncomplicated. So like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, you walk in, sign in, sit down, and before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house.
Hello?
Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Get a shot up. This is for the win.
All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. As we're going to... I don't know.
Good morning.
Never mind. I'm out.
I'm going to get canceled one of these days.
That'll get you canceled.
I hope you guys know I left a very nice message for him on TikTok.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
I did.
boy. Oh, God.
I
On TikTok?
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
It was very...
Excuse me.
He probably
Excuse
doesn't
you.
even know what social
I
media
gotta send you
is.
the video, so give me... I'll send it to you once we get going. But I want to continue the Ben Wallace conversation and Draymond Green. You guys are not listening, clearly. At their apex, who was the greater player at what they did? Draymond Green or Ben Wallace? Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
Is Draymond Green deserving of being in the top 75? Absolutely. He deserves to be there more than Russ. He deserves to be there more than
Damian Lillard.
Damian Lillard.
AD is a big one.
And Harden and AD.
Yeah.
Draymond Green deserves to be a part of this list. I do agree 100%. Don't sit there and act as if the hate for Draymond is real. It's not. Draymond's a phenomenal player. At the expense of Ben Wallace, though, I disagree. I don't know how you can even have a back and forth with me, or even I take you seriously that you actually think that way. No. Jeff, Ben Wallace, and you know what? Let's pivot a little bit to everybody else on this list, because there are some guys that were probably snubbed as well. And I'm going to read off names, and you tell me snub or should have gotten in. Okay? Ben Wallace, we both agree.
Yep.
Snub. Manu Ginobili.
He
wouldn't be in my
snub.
75.
I would say, if not outside of that 75,
He would
that's
be
tough.
80 to 100. I don't care where you put him.
Still an incredible player.
He's, again, very incredible player. It's not a shot at him. For sure. Right? But Tony Parker, I think this is the controversial one.
Yeah. Finals
Tony
MVP.
Parker should be in over Russell Westbrook. Tony Parker should be in over Melo. Should be in over AD. All these guys, he should be in over them. Am I wrong to say this?
We talk about value. How valuable was Tony Parker to the Spurs? Pretty damn valuable. So, yes, I would agree. He deserves to be in there. This guy's a 4-time NBA champ, 4-time All-NBA. We talk about Ben Wallace, more All-NBAs than Draymond Green. He has 5. Draymond has 2. So, All-NBAs to me are important. Not only that, he's a Finals MVP. So, I mean, again, what are the measuring sticks? What is the credentials you need to be in this top 75? Tony Parker checks all the boxes. He still didn't make it. So, again, Adam, I don't get it, but Tony Parker to me absolutely deserves to be on that 75 list. And, again, Ben Wallace, talk about Draymond Green, one of the best perimeter on-ball defenders. He's tremendous. And I think his value was very undervalued with the Warriors. I mean, people forget when the Cavs came back on the Warriors, everyone remembers this, when they were up 3-1 on the Cavs, what happened late in the series? Draymond was suspended, and it changed the entire tide of that series. So no one's questioning Draymond's value. What I'm arguing is Ben Wallace, his career, aside from being on a stacked team like Draymond was just more impressive defensively. He was better on that side of the floor. We read the accomplishments. 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. How many does Draymond have? 1. And I get Draymond's still playing, but let's be honest, Draymond's not getting better. I mean, he's getting older, so age isn't obviously making you better as an NBA player. Ben Wallace also has a 6-time all-defensive team. Draymond is also 6-time all-defensive, so tied him there. 2-time rebound leader and 1-time block leader. The only thing Draymond's led in is steals. So very comparable. I just think Ben has been recognized more on an all-NBA platform. He's been a better defender, especially people forget, like, Ben Wallace in his prime. My God. Like, I think people, and I get it, recency bias. You have Draymond Green. Everyone loves Draymond Green. No one's disrespecting Draymond Green. But if you actually look back at Ben Wallace and look at his value for the Pistons, what he did to Shaq in those finals, like, I'm going to let people decide for themselves. But to me, you can't. You can honestly, and I agree with Pistons fan, you have a legit argument, Ben Wallace might be the best defensive player of all time. And at 6'9", think about that. Undersized as a center. So, I don't know, guys. I mean, that's kind of my argument. He should be on the top 75. I agree. T-Mac is another one. Tracy McGrady, another one that was left off the top 75. Vince Carter. But
again, individual greatness matters, right?
It does.
T-Mac was outstanding. But I could argue T-Mac is what Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Damian Lillard are. Melo. They're just phenomenal basketball players. That doesn't mean they deserve to be a part of the conversation with true champions, leaders, winners, guys that demonstrated value on and off the court. Not just by scoring points, not just by giving assists, but they had that mental leadership. Jeff, it's killing me this morning. How Ben Wallace is not on this list, and we have a guy that spends a majority of his career in street clothes. Another guy that, Dame time. I don't care. Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple-Double. James Harden, who spends more time at strip clubs than he does on a basketball court. And Carmelo Anthony, who's done what in his career? Lead the Knicks to a 3 seed? Wow. All better than James Harden. Excuse me.
Wait, Wasim just brought up a great point.
Dwight Howard's on that list. I don't know what he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
no,
right.
no.
Just making sure.
Dwight Howard is on that list.
Sure. Where is he at? Do you know exactly? He said top 50?
I think where I saw Dwight Howard on the list was like 56.
Oh, okay. All right. They got that right.
Yeah, Dwight Howard should be there.
I'm just calling him out as I see it.
Tracy McGrady not being there? Look, I could make the same argument. He could be over Dame, Russ, Harden.
Because they're similar
guys, I mean, what
players.
are we doing here? We're talking about Ben Wallace, who is arguably one of the better defenders ever. And we're comparing him to, or not even comparing him to, he's not even part of the same list as a guy who spends more time at KFC and strip clubs, James Harden. You guys really got this list right. You really did. Tim Harden, GOAT defender, I could go with that. I can go with that. I think I'm okay with saying that. Tim Duncan, best defender of all time.
Ben is in that conversation. And
Ben's
I feel
in
like,
the conversation.
But that's the point. If he's in the conversation for the best defensive player ever, how is he not?
Wait.
I don't understand.
You know. I might have been too stupid and naive when I was younger, but didn't Ben Wallace play in the era where there was prime Shaq, prime Tim Duncan, and he won all those Defensive Player of the Year awards when Duncan, Shaq, and KG were running the league? Oh, silly me. Fucking idiots. Ben Wallace not on the 75 list.
Listen, my dad's listening today, so I'm going to need you to chill.
Sorry, Dad. Did you see the video I sent you?
I did.
We'll have a good joke once we get to break. What time is it? 8:40. We got a few minutes. I do want to wrap up with one thing. I don't know if Dwight wasn't on there initially. I don't know if they changed it, but I did see Dwight on the list when I.
My dad just texted me laughing.
Sorry, Dad.
You're not wrong. Bunch of idiots making this
Seriously, bunch of idiots, man. One guy that I'm starting to straw. This is a different conversation. Maybe the NBA is still mad about the 60 points a game that Ben Wallace cost. Honestly, who knows? But look, again, I'm willing to have a conversation about the up-and-comers, right? Where did Giannis land on this list?
Pretty high.
KD was what, 13?
Yeah.
He was higher than Steph. I just want to put something into perspective. You guys can disagree with me. I don't care. I'm just going to give you a perspective I don't think you're taking into account, all right? Where is Kevin Durant on this list without Steph Curry?
Well,
where is he? He's on the list. Don't get me wrong. Kevin Durant, one of the greatest 50 players, I'll give you, without the titles. Where's he without Steph Curry? He's in the 30s, 40s, 50s.
But what you could also
Why is he at 13?
I get you. But you could also make that argument vice versa.
No.
Because KD was the de facto best player through all their championship runs.
Okay.
So
there's a difference between being the best player in the league at any given time and being the most valuable player.
Most valuable.
I take Steph Curry off of any of those Golden State championship teams, they don't win. They don't.
But they
if I take KD off, I think I have a better chance of winning than without Steph. Steph is the heart and soul of that basketball team. He's what made it operate. He's the one that took less shots. He's the one that gave the ball to KD. He made it work, not KD.
But let me give you this. I would give you that. But the year prior, without KD, they threw a lead, and they got KD,
3-1.
and they won multiple straight.
Yeah,
so
look, I'm not saying
KD's
Steph is LeBron or any of these
no,
guys.
I get you. But
to have
talk
him,
about that pushing over the edge, I think KD was that guy. If it was just Steph, Clay, in the gang, I mean,
all right, if I give
team.
you my top 3 small forwards of all time,
then of course, yeah.
What would it be? It would be LeBron, Bird, KD.
Yeah.
All right, top 3 point guards of all time.
Similar, yeah. It'd be like
Same thing. Right. You can go Magic, Isaiah, Steph. How is there such a gap between KD and Steph? Like, again, I'm looking at their list.
Yeah.
I'm only contradicting their list. I'm not trying to make a case that they don't deserve to be there or anything.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
No, I get what you're saying. 100%.
It really does.
There's no way that big of a gap should be those two players. I mean,
Steph by himself, no playoffs. Dude, they made the play-in game.
Dwight Howard's
literally
not on
2
this
years ago with
list.
a worse roster. Huh?
Dwight Howard is not on this list.
Dwight Howard is not on the list? You're joking.
No.
Are you sure about that?
I'm 1,000%.
And you have Anthony Davis and they're over Dwight.
Are you joking me?
Oh my god.
That is like credibility. Like you're losing credibility. How do you not?
I apologize. I really thought Dwight Howard was on there. I could have sworn I seen him on the 75 list.
That is embarrassing, actually. For someone who's watched the NBA for a long time, that's absolutely embarrassing. Like, how can
KD is one of the 20 greatest players ever. So is Steph Curry. He's not that much better than Steph Curry. And may I add, Steph Curry revolutionized and changed the game of basketball. We keep sleeping on the guy because he's not 7 feet and can pull up from 30. The dude is 5 feet and can pull up from 50.
yeah, right.
Like, come on. I mean, it's really frustrating.
This list is so garbage, man. Like, if past like 30, it starts getting even worse.
Guys, you guys bring up KD without Steph, right? He made the finals. Oh, he lost to LeBron with a ball hogging. You know what's funny? That Russell Westbrook back in the day was actually a very good Russell Westbrook. And that's coming from the guy that is not like Russ at all. Don't sit there and tell me they lost that finals because James Harden crapped the bed and was not a sixth man and he should have always been starting, but that's a whole different conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't believe Dwight Howard is not on this list. I actually can't believe it. He is one of the greatest 75 players to ever play. He is an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, rebounding champion, block champion, NBA champion later on in his career.
One of the most dominant players. Like I don't understand.
Anthony Davis on this list over, so Anthony Davis over Dwight Howard and Ben Wallace.
And they have the same.
To all the writers, and Fish, get ready for this one. To all the writers in America that voted and put together this list, from the bottom deep soul of my heart, fuck you. Idiots.
They all have the same amount of rings.
Idiots.
And you're going to choose
They're not
AD.
even close to as accomplished.
No,
Prime Dwight
no
Howard
way.
was a spectacle.
Yeah.
He was must-watch TV.
Superman.
He carried Hito Turkoglu to the goddamn finals.
Damn Superman.
Him and what? Terry... Jamal Tinsley, was it? Who was the little small black point guard for the Magic?
It was not a good team. I mean, Dwight Howard
I can't even remember his name. They had Rashawn Woods. Wow, what an all-star team. Dwight Howard carried that team to the finals.
A team that Shaq left and went to L.A. with. And then Dwight's like, hey, let's go.
Man.
Let's go. I don't get it.
T-Mac not on the list over Dame. Some of these guys, some of these bums. Russell Westbrook's not even a top 500 player. What are we doing? Jesus Christ. All right. You know what Ben Wallace has that people like Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, even Damian Lillard. You know what he has and he does that they don't do and they don't understand? And clearly the people that voted on this list don't appreciate? He has a great defense. You know who else has a great defense, Jeff? Guardian Alarm.
It is very true. Good defense. Will they make the top 75 list? I don't know. But Guardian Alarm gets it, and a good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm also has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. You heard Fish. That's 800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. I'm proud to partner with Hall Financial, the mortgage company known for 5-star service. Don't just take my word for it. Check out their 5,000 5-star reviews for yourself. Go to callhallfirst.com and get started with your 5-star experience today.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers.
Monday, February 21st from 11 to 1 p.m. Join Woodward Sports and Big D Energy for the grand opening of the Berkeley Chili Peppers Tanning on Woodward between 11 and 12 Mile. Come hang and join the Pepper Club. Best deals on unlimited tanning.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. So we're going to switch gears a little bit. We got to stop talking about the NBA. It's going to get a little heated in here. But what we will talk about is the Detroit Lions.
All right. The Lions hold the number 2 and number 32 overall pick. Should the Detroit Lions, Jeff, I'm going to let you start this because I know you're a big fan of the guy. Should the Detroit Lions consider pursuing Sauce Gardner?
Well, the question is, how high will he go? In a lot of mock drafts, you talk about Todd McShay has him going 6 to the Carolina Panthers. I could see him even going 7 to the New York Giants. He's that talented. And people question, and I want to get this out of the way, Detroit native, alumni of Martin Luther King High School, and the actual definition of shutdown corner. No question to me, he's cornerback 1. That's me personally, and he jumps off the screen when you watch his film. And not only that, Sauce Gardner finishes his career at Cincinnati, over 1,100 snaps with 9 interceptions, 0 touchdowns allowed his whole collegiate career. And not only that, okay, what competition was he playing, Jeff? He was playing nobody. Well, he matched up against Jameson Williams. Everybody loves Jameson Williams. Jameson Williams, when they played Alabama, was targeted twice. He had 1 catch for -2 yards. So this guy can make plays. And not only that, he's going to make a big, big contribution at the next level in the NFL. He can keep up with these receivers, no question in my mind. And the question to me is, if the Lions want him, either you're going to have to trade back at number 2, and that's if you find a trade partner eager enough to jump up and get one of the edge rushers or the offensive tackle, whatever it may be. Because I don't think Sauce Gardner's leaving the top 10, and that's my personal opinion. I just think the film speaks for itself, and his collegiate career at Cincinnati has been nothing short of dominant. And playing at Cincinnati, you don't get as much exposure. You play against maybe not, as strong competition, but when they made the playoffs, he still showed out, and he didn't allow more than 13 yards to any receiver this past season. Think about that. Didn't allow more than 13 yards to any receiver this past season, and he didn't allow a TD catch his entire collegiate career. So talent, it's there. The question for me to be, the Lions aren't going to be able to get him because you're either going to have to trade back at number 2 or jump 15 spots or 10, 15, 20 spots from 32, which I don't see happening. So I think whoever gets Sauce Gardner is going to get a stud, someone who's going to be able to start right away and make an impact his rookie year. So give me Sauce for my cornerback 1, but realistically, though, I don't think the Lions, he won't be there for the Lions, Adham. They're going to have to trade back.
He's not going to be there at 32. If they were picking at 24, I'd feel more comfortable about the possibility, but I don't think it's on the table. That's a guy that's going top 16 minimum.
Yeah.
He's not falling that far. And you saw guys last season, J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain. Guys came into the league right away and contributed. Patrick Surtain was one of the better corners all year. He was the best rookie corner. Like they come in and contribute, man. If they're good enough, they can contribute. I'm not saying they're going to win you NFL games, but they will contribute. And when you're a team picking between 12 and 20, you're kind of like, we're almost there. We're not there. We're close. Are we? Do we need a quarterback? Probably not. We have our guy. Let's go on defense. Sauce Gardner is not going to be there. Should the Lions consider pursuing him? Sure, but if he's available at 32, which I don't expect him to be, right? So it's really tricky, actually. It really is. Just so you guys know, at 9 o'clock, we have very special guests joining the morning show. The guys from Honolulu Blues podcast will be joining at 9 o'clock. I'm actually really excited. Hell, I may end this segment early just so we can get to them.
Yeah, some solid guys over there, man.
Seriously, but back to Sauce Gardner. I think what we're discussing now, and we're gonna revisit this probably around 9:30ish, depends how the show goes, is what do you do with the number 32 overall pick? That's really the question here. Are you trading up or are you trading out of day one? That's the conundrum here. Is there a quarterback available at 23 that you want, you're in love with, you're not willing to wait 9 picks, or you don't think he'll be there in 8 selections from now? That's the question, Jeff.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's a corner. I'm very confident it's an edge rusher at 2. But, again, I can't lie to you and say when I watch Kyle Hamilton, he doesn't jump off my screen. The dude is phenomenal. But it's hard to justify at number 2, whether you guys say it or not. And yeah, if you tell me he's Ed Reed, is he? And if you want to say, all right, well, let's take him. He's the next Ed Reed. If he's not Ed Reed, then what? What's your punishment? Nothing. You don't get punished. You just get to say stuff. Drafting a safety at 2. It's hard to do. Yes, there's a difference drafting him at 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There's a big difference. Jamal Adams was selected number 6. He came into the league. The Jets did what? He was phenomenal. The Jets did what? He goes to a winning team. He sucks.
Nick Bosa gets drafted. Makes an impact.
I mean, that, yeah.
No, but I'm just saying, like, edge rushers do. They make a more significant impact. And if you watch the playoffs this year, you've already known that. So give me an edge rusher at number 2. No question about it. Number 32.
I don't think the edge rushers are overrated. Thibodeau and Hutchinson are not overrated, guys. Look, I think they're one of, if not the 2 of the best 5 players in this draft. I think the 5 best players in this draft are Evan Neal, Kyle Hamilton, Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, and I'm going to go Devin Lloyd, to be honest. I think those are your best 5 players. Easy. To be honest, I've been saying Ed Reed to win arguments, but that's high praise. Yeah, that's the point, dude. Like, I get it. You can give him a comparison all you want. But when you tell me Ed Reed at number 2, okay, fine. But I don't get 40, 50 interceptions in the first 10 years. Kick rocks. It's a bust. Sorry, it's a lot of pressure for a safety. And again, how does football work? When the ball is snapped, who controls what goes on the defensive side of the ball? The defensive linemen.
People close.
They have the first opportunity to stop the play. If the linebackers don't stop the run, whose job is it to stop the run? The safeties. You are the third line of defense. And then your job most of the game is to take away the deep ball from most teams. Okay, great. I hope you do that great. I hope you excel. I think Kyle Hamilton will excel in the NFL. But this is a draft class full of premier talent on the defensive side of the ball. You're not going to go wrong. But the edge rusher matters.
Yeah, it does.
It matters. You need your Bosa. You need your TJ Watt. You need these guys, your Myles Garrett. Now, whether that's Thibodeau, Hutchinson, I don't care. I just know it can't be Stingley. I know it can't be Hamilton and Malik Willis at 2. It can't be any of those guys.
No.
It can be. This team is not... Guys, you know, we always talk about how did Patrick Mahomes fall to 10? Deshaun Watson fall? How'd they all fall? Josh Allen to 7. Did you ever maybe consider that at that moment in time, the teams that were selecting didn't need to get a quarterback? That they had a placeholder, bridge, very good, very decent, maybe above average quarterback like a Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins? I don't think Detroit's in a position to be selecting number 2 overall for a quarterback, but I think it's really beyond the point.
Can we just all mutually agree that players closest to the football make the most impacts? Like, that's science, that's common sense, and with edge rushers, more value there. I'm sorry, I like Hamilton a whole lot, but I've been an Aiden Hutchinson guy. I got to stick by it. I'm still believing they should stay pat, take Aiden Hutchinson. I just don't see a team trading up for us to trade back. If that's the case, take Kyle Hamilton.
I think Max Smith has the greatest solution I've probably heard or seen in a while. Number 2 overall. You know what the Detroit Lions should do? I love this. Draft a punter. Seriously. What's the problem? Are you opposed to that? I'm not.
No.
Draft a punter. There's no controversy at quarterback. There's no controversy over Kyle Hamilton or an edge rusher.
No.
You eliminate all the talk. We got our guy. Oh, man. Max, come on. Got the best punter in the game anyways, or one of, I should say. And one of the most likable punters in the game. But, Maddie, we gotta take a quick break. When we get back, the guys from the Honolulu Blue podcast are going to be joining us on the network. I am thoroughly excited for this.
Yes.
This has been weeks in planning, by the way. I've been working on this for a while.
Well, we're very excited. We can't wait to have them on. So excited that we might have to celebrate with a Cintron.
Yes, Cintron, and well, I will advise you with Cintron because they're absolutely delicious. Cintron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. If you are looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at cintronworld.com. Use the promo code RedWings10 and save 10% with shipping included. Remember, drink it, live it with Cintron.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the bottom line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network. What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Guys, we have a couple special guests from the Honolulu Blues podcast joining us. Guys, welcome.
Oh, man. Guys, good morning. I hope you're doing well. I got to say, let me make a formal introduction, okay? So, first I'd like to publicly apologize because, you know, it's people that do a Detroit Lions podcast in the city from Detroit. I'm very, very upset with myself it took this long to even invite them onto the show. Like, I feel like a horrible human being.
Yeah.
But we are joined this morning by the three guys that make it all happen at the Honolulu Blues podcast. Yeah. Nick Faber, Julius Porter, and Adham Stark. Guys, good morning. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Great.
Doing good.
Yep. Nice to
Thanks
see you
for
guys.
having us
Listen,
on.
I have a question for you. I'm going to get this started off, and I got to get it off my chest. Has nothing to do with the Detroit Lions. Ben Wallace, yes or no, should be a part of the NBA Top 75 list.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Not, you know, the high, like, 60s. I would put him right at the back, 70 to 75 range, but yes, I think he deserves to be there.
The only undrafted player in the NBA Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
Mic drop.
Somebody appreciates greatness.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys.
No,
we were just talking about what the Lions are going to be doing this upcoming draft at number 2. Whether it's an edge rusher, Kyle Hamilton. I kind of want to start there. Are you guys on the Kyle Hamilton train, or are we sticking to fundamentals, draft an edge rusher number 2 overall?
Kyle Hamilton, I feel like I was listening to you guys talk earlier about how you need to have a guy that's on the ball all times and kind of that ball seeker and not a defensive back type player, because we've seen it. TJ Watts, the Chase Youngs, the Bosa brothers, they make immediate impact. And that's what you want to see out of a Hutchinson, out of a Thibodeau. So if we get one of the two, I don't want to try to get cute and reach on like a Stingley or a Hamilton or someone like that. Unless we're getting a juicy trade back, then take either Hutchinson or Thibodeau at 2.
Adam hit it right on the nose. Yeah, he hit it right on the nose. Unless you're trading back, you're not taking Kyle Hamilton at 2. And a part of that is recency bias. I mean, I still have hope in Jeff Okudah. But ultimately, I cannot stomach taking another secondary in the top 3 picks. I just cannot do it. If Kyle Hamilton turns out to be Ed Reed, I'll be pretty disappointed that we didn't end up getting him. But the odds of that is very slim. At this point, if Aiden wants to fall to us, take him. Now, if Jacksonville takes Aiden Hutchinson first overall and we're debating Kayvon Thibodeau, Kyle Hamilton, that might be a whole different question. But it really does seem like the Jags are going to go after Evan Neal, protect Trevor Lawrence, thus allowing us to get Aiden Hutchinson, which we cannot pass up that opportunity.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you guys anymore. And thank you guys for joining us, number one. But I want to move the conversation to Jared Goff. And when the Detroit Lions eventually get to that point that we all expect them to, and that's eventually contending and winning the NFC North, do you see Jared Goff behind center at that point? Or do you see the limitations we see, me and Adam, and expect the Lions to have found their franchise quarterback either through the draft or in a different way?
I think Goff. Juice, let's hear you.
I mean, Jared Goff is who Jared Goff is at this point. What's it been, 5 years, 6 years he's been in the league? Usually by that time we see the it factor if he has it, and we have not seen it. We didn't see it last year. He's good enough. He's good enough to bridge, though. He's good enough to bridge, so that's where we're at, to be honest. I'll be highly, highly surprised if Jared Goff turns his career around in Detroit in 2022, 2023, and just isn't overran by another quarterback, either through the draft, Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett. We can go down the line, but he's good enough to play with this year without drafting a quarterback as well if we want to wait. So he's just the perfect quarterback to have right now, so I'm cool with him.
I'm with you guys. Adam or Nick, whoever wants to take the jump next. Jared Goff, I think he summed it up perfectly. He's a good bridge, but how comfortable are you guys with Jared Goff moving forward if it's not a quarterback this year?
Jared Goff is going to put us in a sticky situation. I've said this multiple times on our podcast, and I'll reiterate it here. He's going to put us into a point where he may get us to the playoffs. This, like that would be that's the ultimate ceiling, right? Is maybe we make the playoffs this year, and Jared Goff plays out of his mind. But I think that's the cap of Jared Goff is getting to the playoffs. And if he gets us to the playoffs this year, miraculously, then what do? Then do we believe in Jared Goff? He got us to the playoffs. The Lions fans will believe. Maybe the staff believes in him. Or he goes 3-14 this year, whatever it is. Thus, now we get rid of Jared Goff, but Dan Campbell's had 2 years, and he's only won 6 games. So now the attention is going to start to move from Jared Goff, and if we say we get a rookie quarterback next year and he wins 5 or 6 games, now Dan Campbell has sit here and won 10 to 11 games in 3 years as a head coach, and he'll be out the door. And it's a vicious cycle. It won't stop. And then our rookie quarterback will have a brand new head coach and offensive coordinator. And we've seen this cycle over and over and over and over. Ultimately, I think we should address the quarterback situation this year, allow to hopefully get a Malik Willis and allow him to sit a whole year under Goff, similar to what Trey Lance is doing in San Fran, what Mahomes did in Kansas City, what Rodgers did in Green Bay. We've seen that. We don't have to get a quarterback and start him right away with Jared Goff, but I don't want to be in a pickle of sitting here. Was it Jared Goff who was really bad? Was Dan Campbell not the right coach? Where are we at? If Jared Goff gets us to the playoffs, is he our quarterback for the next 6 years? But are we ever actually going to win with them? I don't think so. It's a real sticky situation, I think, that Detroit has right now with the QB situation.
Adam?
Yeah, it's tough. I agree, Nick. Goff puts us in an odd situation where he could be dipping his toe in the water, and that's not good. We either want a guy that's either in the pool or out of the pool, not 1 foot in. And if Goff goes out there, wins 10 games, sneaks in the wild card, and loses first round, then you're going to have some people buying in. You're going to have some people saying, no, we need to move on. And like Nick said, we're going to get into a vicious cycle of where we're not going to have our rookie quarterback or our franchise quarterback on the same page as our new head coach. So it's going to be a tough situation, but what would solve all of this is if we could just swap draft classes and have the 2023 class this year, the 2022 class next year, and just take Bryce Young.
I agree.
That's the tricky part. And you know what? Nick brought this up. I think the Lions are going to win 6, 7, 8, 9 games this year, to be honest with you. They play the AFC and the NFC East. The schedule is super friendly. They're going to be able to put out a good football product. They won't be selecting top 5, top 7 next year. And that's going to put them in a really tricky spot. So that's going to lead to this question. And Nick kind of already hinted at it. Malik Willis.
Mm-hmm.
Do you touch him at 2? And if not, how willing are you to trade up 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots to get him at 22, 23 if he falls?
All right, I'll start. Malik Willis, man, for a guy that is probably the biggest Michael Vick fan you'll ever meet and the biggest running quarterback fan you'll ever meet, I want Malik Willis so bad. But to take him at 2, that would be really tough. I know there's a lot of people that have said, yeah, we got to do it. It's a quarterback league. That's what you got to do nowadays. Take your quarterback. But we've seen in the past where if you get aggressive and try to reach on a quarterback, it can shoot you in the foot bad. With Josh Rosen, there's a bunch of other guys, Sam Darnold, but it could get ugly quick. So what I would prefer is hope that we get a quarterback slide to maybe that 28 to 32 range, and we do maybe trade up a few picks to get, Sam Howell at 29 or Malik Willis at like 25, 26 or something like that. But to take Malik or any quarterback at 2, I just think that's a little bit too rich for me.
Yeah, Adam, I agree. I have a 12 gauge at my house ready for that moment if they select Malik Willis at number 2. But Nick, what are we doing with Malik Willis, man? I heard you kind of give the hype train a little bit. I'm against it. I'm with Adam on this.
I'm a huge Malik Willis fan, and the moment I saw him at the Senior Bowl, I fell in love with him. I liked him going into the Senior Bowl. I loved him after the Senior Bowl. As my cat makes an appearance here. That's our podcast mascot right there.
Hell yeah.
Malik Willis was one of the most coachable quarterbacks I saw at the Senior Bowl. In fact, he started the second day, he started to take notes from Mark Brunell and then translate them to Sam Howell, help coaching the other quarterbacks, his peers that he's in competition with, basically. He is. I think he's got the behind the scenes stuff that we don't see. So we can look at his film and we're like, wow, his legs are fantastic. He's electric. His pass accuracy and his reads are very subpar. We need to get those addressed. A lot of people played at Liberty. He never saw any good competition. I mean, he was recruited by Auburn, I believe, transferred to Liberty. The guy will pick up almost every third down with his legs. It's going to be electric. You'll just, like, instead of Jared Goff rolling out and throwing it away on 4th down, you can best believe Malik Willis will get whatever yardage you need at that situation. We saw it during the Senior Bowl, faster than anyone on the field, and it wasn't even close.
I can't disagree. I can't disagree. I think they are going to have to make a decision on whether or not they're going to draft a quarterback this year. Julius, is it Malik Willis? Is it Sam Howell? Is it somebody else? Are they going to wait at 32, trade up? What's the move?
They better wait at 32 or trade up, because if they take a quarterback at number 2, I promise y'all I will resign from Honolulu Blue. I will go off of Twitter. I will leave Twitter. Y'all never hear from me again as a Lions fan. They take
go MIA.
Malik Willis, okay, he scares me because as Lions fans, we live in regret a lot, okay? I just don't want to Mitch Trubisky-like regret Malik Willis if we take him at number 2 and he's good enough, but he's not great enough, and we wasted a pick. And I'm definitely afraid of that, so it's a no for me.
Thank God, somebody with reason in the group. I can't look, Nick. I get the Malik Willis thing, but you know what? I've at least prepared myself for them to select a quarterback later in the first round. Definitely not at number 2. That'll be a death sentence for me. But Jeff, what do you got?
Listen, I want to talk about the wide receiver position because I'm a guy who believes truly you take a wide receiver at 32. That's just me, though. How do you guys see the Lions addressing that position? Is it at 32? Do you see a free agency move? I'm a big guy. The Lions kind of need to stay pat in free agency and kind of chill. But it's the first offseason of this regime. How do you guys see the Lions addressing that position?
Yeah, we just had a free agency episode talking about all the free agent wide receivers. But I think the Lions are going to look towards the draft. We saw what Brad Holmes did last year with Amon-Ra St. Brown. 4th-round grand slam of a draft pick. Who says he can't do that again in a 3rd, 4th, 5th round, or even, 1st-round pick? So for me, I would like to see the Lions take a draft pick approach on their next wide receiver they want to get. I wouldn't mind a free agent signing, but we kind of came into a consensus of if we're going to get a free agent wide receiver, we want it to be like a Chris Godwin, a Devontae Adams, if we could get it. Someone who has that superstar talent. We don't want a player that's like right in the middle, like a Michael Gallup, Christian Kirk, someone who would kind of be side by side with Amon-Ra and not, take pressure off of him. So for me, I'm hoping Brad Holmes hits another, grand slam with Amon-Ra in this draft.
Yeah,
that's going to be the part. You know what? I'm actually really curious because I'm a hell no to selecting any wide receiver, or excuse me, signing any wide receiver in free agency, whether it's a Michael Gallup, any of these middle of the pack guys that, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown next year will be better than. So it doesn't seem like they're really upgrading. But Nick, wide receiver number 32 or 34, what's the pick?
34, I want to take a safety at 32, whether that be Jaquan Brisker or Daxton Hill, unless Nakobe Dean wants to fall to 32, which I'm very okay with grabbing him there as well. 34, I hope David Bell wants to slide back. Jahan Dotson, I like both of those guys a lot. I do want to also sign a wide receiver and draft a wide receiver in the top 3, and that's okay. I think getting an Allen Robinson, we talked about this yesterday on our show, getting Allen Robinson on a 1 or 2 year deal worth a little bit more than he wants, but basically a prove-it deal, maybe a 1 year deal with a team option 2nd year. If he can give us a little hometown love, add him to be our wide receiver 1, try to take some pressure away from Amon-Ra St. Brown and whoever it is that we add in to play that 3rd wide receiver spot. I think we could go after a David Bell and have an Allen Robinson on the outside to take pressure away from Amon-Ra St. Brown and Hockenson up in the middle with DeAndre Swift coming from the flat. I think all of that is okay. We have cap space. People are like, no receivers, no quarterbacks, only defense. Well, that's not going to win these games, man. Last year, I believe we would have held teams to like under 23 points. We would have won
24.1.
It was like 8 or 9 games or
10
something.
games, yeah.
10 games. So the fact of the matter is we got to score more than we just got scored points. Our offense was piss poor last year. A terrible outing until the back half of the season when DC started to take over play calling. Goff kind of got his mojo, as Austin Powers would say. So if we add 2 more big receivers who can take pressure away from St. Brown and Hockenson, should be able to open things up for Goff and allow us to hit that 8-9 cap or win that we foresee.
All right, I do have to get one more question in before I let you guys go. You just brought up Dan Campbell. What's the vibe on Dan Campbell? What's the outlook? What's the feeling? I'll give you my latest kind of preview of him. I think the Ben Johnson hire, or at least the promotion, for me is a significant deal.
Yeah.
That mattered more to me than anything they've done really up until this point. The fact that they recognize young, up-and-coming offensive talent, that's where the league is going. Where do you guys see the Lions going with Dan Campbell? What do you think of him? Obviously, he's a media darling, but coach? Can he coach?
Dan Campbell is our only hope and savior right now as Lions fans, to be honest. And he gets the feel, he gets the vibe. Ever since that first press conference, a lot of people made fun of the kneecap thing, but I got emotional watching that press conference. To this day, I tell anybody, like I was caught off guard, to be honest, because he was immediately different. Okay, now different doesn't always mean you're gonna win. So Dan Campbell, as far as I'm concerned, he to keep doing what he's doing. I like everything. I like the progression. I like the motivation and the fight from the team, and I like his overall roar. My concern is on Brad Holmes and the way he constructs this team in the most important offseason in a generation for the Lions.
Adam, what do you think of Dan Campbell?
Yeah, I think, he is that guy. He's that light at the end of the tunnel right now. And a lot of people didn't believe it coming in, and now they could see that light. And we're a bunch of Lions fans stuck in this big old tunnel, and we see a little light down at the end. And if we could just get there, it's gonna be magical, because Dan Campbell, I think he's that final puzzle piece. We've seen what Brad Holmes can do. If Holmes can just build around Campbell, we've seen that Campbell isn't just, a defensive-minded, bite their kneecaps off guy. He's actually got some trickery and creativeness into him. We saw that final Packers game. He ran, I want to say 2, maybe 3 trick plays that resulted in touchdowns. So we know he's got that Andy Reid-like brain. Let's just see if he can bust it out.
Absolutely, Nick.
Yeah, I'm not so gushy over DC. I love that he'll get you to run through a wall. I really do love that. He is a great motivator. Maybe one of the best motivators in the NFL, and I'll say that right now. Brad Holmes is a great GM, but ultimately, it seems like coaches right now that are winning are your Kyle Shanahan's, your Sean McVay's, Andy Reid's. Very, very, very smart offensive gurus, I would say. And I just don't know if Dan Campbell's that type of play caller. Here comes my cat, so he's disagreeing with me. But I don't know. So I'm giving Dan Campbell this year, and I said it, and I'll continuously say it. I don't care who our quarterback is. I don't care what our team is. I don't care if it's this guy. I'm sorry, Cat, but this is true. He has to win 8 to 9 games this year. Anything less than is subpar to me, and I know we'll keep him. Obviously, they're not going to lose his job for that, but in my opinion, it's not the right guy if he can't get 8 wins after what we saw last year, after all the close losses, the wins that we finally got at the end of the season. If we can't construct 7, 8 wins, it's just the wrong coach. You just got it. You got to be able to nip it in the bud instead of the Lions are notorious for being loyal. Let Matt Millen stay longer. Give all these guys extra years just to see maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year. This is our year. I'm done with that. So I want win now or get out. So I like him, but he's got to win at least 8 this year.
I think me and Nick think a lot alike. It's kind of scary.
Great.
All right, guys, I can't thank you enough for coming on. We got to do this more often. Thank you so much. Everybody in the chat, it's the guys from the Honolulu Blues
you guys are great.
podcast, Nick, Julius, and Adam.
Yeah,
thank you guys so much. Yeah. It was a pleasure. And you guys have a great day, man. We'll talk soon.
Yeah, got to get him back on.
Go Lions!
Go Lions!
Go Lions. God damn you, Fish. Oh, you're Maddie. We got to go to break. When we get back, back into the Detroit Lions. What else is there? Jeff Okudah training rehab videos all surfacing. Everybody wants to know, is the number 3 overall pick ready to come back? We'll temper expectations after.
Yes, we'll find out about that when we come back. But first, we need to talk about Gypsy Vodka.
Guys, I need a drink after this show, and you know exactly what I'm going to be drinking. Gypsy Vodka, the smoothest, best-tasting vodka on the market. Gluten-free, Michigan's vodka, locally owned and operated up in Petoskey, Michigan. Support local. Guys, check it out. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy, and please, as always, drink responsibly.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, we're continuing to talk about the Detroit Lions. Should we be excited for Jeff Okudah's return?
I think people, it's not about if this should be, I mean, you're going to be excited, right? This is the number 3 overall pick.
Is it happening?
You're hoping to God he stays healthy and contributes, but I think with Jeff Okudah this year, I'm of the belief that he's actually, I'm hopeful that he walks in and actually contributes to this football team.
Yeah.
There's nothing better that he can do than just contribute. I don't need you to be all pro. I don't need you to be Jalen Ramsey. Hell, just stay on the field for 17 games this year, and I swear to God, I'll throw a parade down Woodward. That's all I can ask out of Jeff Okudah right now. I'm not going to talk about expectations. 4 interceptions, 11 pass deflections, needs to do this, needs to do that. No.
We just want him to be there.
I just want him on the field. I want to see him play well, because if he plays well, the team is going to play well. Jeff, for me, it's that simple.
100%. I mean, I'm excited, incredibly excited. All Lions fans should be, and you heard the guys from the Honolulu Blues podcast talk about it. I mean, I'm over. I mean, we talk about Kyle Hamilton at number 2. Yes, Jeff Okudah, that draft does scare me, considering how that outcome happened. But at this point, I'm over it. Can we just get Jeff Okudah to be a starter? That's really my point. And to me, he still has a lot of upside to with the right coaching. I mean, he's going from Matt Patricia and his coaching staff, now going to Aaron Glenn and Aubrey Pleasant. And you saw it. He didn't get to play last season. He played in 1 game. He had 2 pass deflections and tore his Achilles. This season, a full 17-game season with these guys as his coaches, Aubrey Pleasant, I think is everyone remembers the clip last year of him tearing up Jeff Okudah on the sidelines. I think the coaching is definitely going to matter, and he might only have 1 career interception, but this year I'm expecting him just to be a solid starter for the team. I don't expect Jeff Okudah to still be the number 3rd overall in his production, because I just think that's unlikely. He's got the physical tools. The production wasn't just there, and maybe with the right coaching change, you got the right guys in place, maybe he can provide more production. And we needed him last year. We're gonna need him this year. The secondary isn't the greatest. You have Amani Warrior, AJ Parker, Jerry Jacobs, guys like that. But there's always a spot for Jeff Okudah. So I'm excited for him. For expectations, they're not very high. Just want him to be a starter, man. Get some production out there. Get an interception or 2, and show everybody why you're still a starter in the NFL. Because as of right now, every time we've seen Jeff Okudah, it hasn't been good. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact he was put in bad positions. So hopefully this year, Aaron Glenn is going to do wonders with him. Aubrey Pleasant, these guys are going to help direct his career and put it in the right direction. So I got confidence in Jeff Okudah. I think the question I have is where does he rank at the end of the year in terms of all of our corners? You're going to have Amani as your number 1, and I want to see Jeff slide into that number 2. Produce, Jeff. I think he has it. Just needs coaching. And I think Aubrey Pleasant's going to do a lot with him this year. So expectations aren't high.
Okudah seems like a very coachable guy. I don't even think that's my issue or my expectation.
But the coaching matters. It does.
Coaching does matter. He just needs to be healthy. He needs to be on the field.
He does.
That's the key for Jeff Okudah. Again, I don't need an All-Pro. Mm-hmm. I don't need a Pro Bowl. I don't need anything from Jeff Okudah. I just need you there for 17 games, bud. You give me 17 games, I swear to God, I will go down Woodward butt naked with the Jeff Okudah jersey.
How far?
As far as he wants me to. A mile for every interception. How about that? Just be healthy. Like, we joke a lot about, well, that guy's a bust. That guy, look, the pick is already a bust. I'm already frustrated enough with it. I'm so frustrated that I am painfully optimistic that this guy can just show up on the field, play, contribute, and hopefully, hope to God, he is 30% of what we thought he would be. Even though most people like myself didn't think he'd be much, because he's a goddamn corner playing in a league where it's impossible to guard wide receivers. But hey, we take him at number 3 because we trade Darius Slay. And because the Fords tell us we have to win now. And we have an aging quarterback with no weapons and no offensive line and no run game and no coaching staff and no GM. Take a corner at 3.
Yeah.
That just makes me want to punch something right now. I swear to God.
Well, Stick's here if you want to.
I'm not going to punch Stick. What would I?
What? What's going on? What?
I didn't say anything.
It's frustrating, man.
I don't think, and listen, he suffered the Achilles injury. I'm not sure, and that's a tough one. That is a really tough one to come back from. Obviously, you have a couple guys. Richard Sherman was able to do it partially. He got better, but Jeff Okudah, it's so early in his career, it does hurt his development, and that's one thing I am worried about. He's missed so many games. He's played half a season his rookie year. He missed his entire sophomore year. So not only that, coming back into now his 3rd season, he's going to have to get up to, catch up to speed. He's been out for a while. He's been watching a lot of NFL football, has been playing in it. So hopefully you can adjust to that, and with the right coaching, just get something out of Jeff. I honestly, if anybody's still butthurt about that pick, and you should be, it's still incredibly aggravating considering who went after Jeff Okudah, but the facts are he's our starter. He's here, so let's get everything we can out of him before we have to decide whether we trade him or he walks away. That's the biggest part. Just stay healthy, Jeff. Stay healthy.
Yeah, look, you guys need to remember, all of the Jeff Okudah you've seen outside of the 1 game in Arizona, He's been bad. Bad, average, it doesn't matter. Just not good. Not number 3 overall good. And that's the point. He could walk into this team this year and contribute. And you're always going to remember him as the number 3 overall pick. That's the problem. But I'm willing to look past it right now. My blood pressure is already going through the roof, and let alone having to talk about this next conversation about the top 10 players from this NBA 75 list. And I think, Jeff, if I am correct, you have a problem with Rodman over a certain 3-4 guys, correct?
Well, it wasn't necessarily Rodman. It was the Russ, Melo, and AD. But we can discuss Rodman. We can see who's in front of him.
I want to get to this list. I do want to revisit it. Not about Ben Wallace this time, though. I want to go through the top 10. And also, I know Jeff has some beef with some of the guys on the list. Yes. I want to get to that. But, Maddie, before we go,
we need to hear about MyBookie.
Guys, MyBookie, where you should be placing your bets every single day if you bet like I do. Bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. And sign up today using code Woodward. They'll match you dollar for dollar. You put in $100, they'll match you $100. You put in $200, they'll match you $200. Guys, take a Jeff Okudah prop bet. Over 10.5 games. Knowing his luck, probably under. But for my sake, over. That's not a bad bet. I'm sure you can find it on MyBookie, guys. Check it out. Again, that's MyBookie. And as always, if you do have a gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crack of the bat. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. As we're talking about the NBA 75th anniversary list again. Top 10. Jeff, what's your beef?
Well, Dennis Rodman's listed at 67. And we talk about Dennis Rodman, and listen, Dennis Rodman, incredibly good player. Played for, obviously, the Detroit Pistons and then went to the Chicago Bulls. Plenty of titles. Dominant on the defensive side of the ball. But my problem is not necessarily with Dennis Rodman, but the fact that you have Dennis Rodman ranked above, obviously we went through it, Russell, Carmelo, and AD. That's fine. I get it. But, again, it makes the point we've been making since the beginning of the show. Why the hell is Ben Wallace not on this list? If you have Dennis Rodman at 67 ahead of all these guys, shouldn't Ben Wallace be in the same, area code as Dennis Rodman? That's my issue. And I love Dennis Rodman. But if you're going to compare careers, and I'm not saying Ben Wallace had a better career, I'm not saying that. But if you have Dennis Rodman in there at 67, why the hell would a guy who's a multiple-time All-NBA, multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year, block leader, multiple-time rebound leader, All-NBA, whatever. I mean, the guy isn't on the top 75, and that's what my biggest concern is. In the NBA, I've had a lot of issues with a lot of their lists they've made. They've always been questionable. We've had conversations about their lists. But the disrespect, all right, and listen, it might be a little biased. I'm from Detroit, but Ben Wallace, we've all got to see him, and not even just us. LA fans got to see him in the 2004 finals, got to see that ass whooping. So if they were able to see it, what is the NBA not seeing that we're seeing, Adam? Can you answer that?
Yeah,
I really don't get it.
So I think there's only one way to really put this, and I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can. Okay? Jeff, when people make lists like this, they're taking into account individual performance. They're taking into account team performance, right? And you got to take all these different factors. I get it. It's not easy to select 75 of thousands, right? But when you do crack cocaine, before you make the list, everything becomes easy. He should get in. He should get in. He should get in. He should get in. And that's how we have a list without Dikembe Mutombo, Ben Wallace, Dwight Howard, and we have a list with KFC strip club James Harden, triple-double king Russell Westbrook, who sucks, Dame time Lillard, who nobody gives a damn about. He's not even top 10 at his own position, let alone top 15. And he is putting over Tony Parker, 5-time champion, finals MVP. Huh. It's called cocaine, Maddie. That's what cocaine does. You guys are asking me how snubbed cocaine. The NBA has a cocaine issue. That's my only answer. That's my only answer, Jeff. Cocaine.
That's it. And people are misconstruing what we're saying. When no one's saying Dennis Rodman's better than Ben Wallace, or Ben Wallace is better than Dennis Rodman. All we're saying is if he's at 67, why the hell the next 8 spots there's no place for Ben Wallace? And I looked at who else is there. I have an issue with it. So, and we already discussed it. Please, can someone explain that to me? If you're going to have Dennis Rodman at 67, why can't you have Ben Wallace at 74, 75? I mean, there's no excuse.
Charles, that's fine. You can say Rodman was better all time. That doesn't mean Ben isn't part of the 75.
That's the point. Yeah.
That doesn't mean Dwight Howard isn't part of the 75. Tony Parker isn't part of the 75. What you're saying can be true. But Russell Westbrook does not deserve to be on that list. James Harden does not deserve to be on that list. Neither does AD or Damian Lillard, let alone Melo. Look, again, we're taking individual greatness, but then we're not using that same aspect for guys like Tracy McGrady. Individual greatness never won anything.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I'm telling you, the only way you put a list like this together is if you snort a table's worth of cocaine. And then you drink some High C mixed with some Kool-Aid. I don't know what you're into.
Yeah.
You probably eat a lemon whole. And then you go about writing the list. It's the only way. It's the only way it can be done. Vince Carter's not on the list as well. Isn't that funny? Again, we're talking, guys. What did you accomplish? What did you contribute to the game of basketball? What has James Harden contributed to the game of basketball? What has he contributed? He has taught other NBA superstars how to go to the strip club and eat chicken tenders. Okay, what else?
He's been an MVP.
He showed you how to travel and cry when you don't get to the free throw line in the playoffs. He's shown you how to choke 3-1 leads. What else? Russell Westbrook sucks. He's played with Kevin Durant, Paul George, Bradley Beal. Who else? I'm missing one more guy. James Harden. Twice. Accomplished nothing. And wherever Russ goes, the team gets worse. He's in the top 75. Anthony Davis. Dude hasn't played half the games in his career. He's in the top 75.
Never played a full season. Never.
Damian Lillard. Sorry, guys. Somebody came in here and flicked me off.
Might have been Russell Westbrook.
Because they don't like what I'm saying about Russell Westbrook. I had to give it back to them. Sorry, the show's back on. I'm not clowning on your chicken tenders. Listen, you can order a 4-piece. It's okay to order a 4-6-piece. Hell, even a 7-piece chicken tender meal.
Actually, I could go for some McNuggets right now.
I'm down. But when you're a professional NBA player and all you do is practice, strip club, chicken tenders, game, chicken tenders, strip club, the hell you want from me? You're not my 75. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here, Damian Lillard. What the hell is Damian Lillard accomplished
honestly,
in the NBA?
Out of all those players, I would assume I know what you're going to say, but out of Anthony Davis, Damian Lillard, James Harden, Russell, who do you have the most problem being on that list? Out of
they
all
all
those guys?
Suck.
If you had to pick one, it would be Damian.
Obviously Dame.
Because he
doesn't have the individual awards, right? But I think Dame is a better player than Russell Westbrook. So it's extremely frustrating.
Right. I see what you're saying.
None of them should be on this list. It is that simple. And the fact that they snubbed Ben Wallace, I will never get over it. I'm sorry. You lost all respect for me. You guys all do drugs. You're all on cocaine. You know nothing about basketball. Ben Wallace is not part of the 75. Champion 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. What a joke.
No one's saying Ben should be 40. I mean, we're just saying
I don't care where he is.
I know. That's the point.
He can be at 75. Yeah. Damn it, he needs to be on the list.
Be on that damn list. Quit the cocaine.
And get rid of the 4 guys that we just brought up.
Yeah.
Take them, put them in a box, spray it with some gasoline, light it on fire, get rid of them. Yep. I'm done with them. 75. team and individual accomplishments are totally different. Alex, you are correct. But the individual helps dictate team performance.
Yeah.
And the team also helps dictate the individual's ability and how they showcase their talents. It is a give and take game here. I'm not putting Ben in the 75 because he has a championship. Ben's in the 75 because he's one of the greatest defenders to ever play the game of basketball. Was Russell Westbrook ever the best at his position at any given point in his career? No. Anthony Davis, never healthy enough. Dame, no. James Harden, no. Never the best. One of, sometimes, some years, never the best. But they had the numbers, the 30, 10, and 10 nights, right? We all get clamored with it. Doncic is averaging 29, 9, and 9 right now. He should be in the 75 list too, right? It's a joke. It's a joke list. Can't take it seriously at all. Tony Parker is not a better basketball player than Damian Lillard.
That's the problem we have.
Wait. Than Damian Lillard, James Harden, and Russell Westbrook. Alex, you are correct. But I'm also correct in saying that I would rather start my team with Tony goddamn Parker than those three losers. Because I can build around Tony Parker, and he'll do whatever it takes to win.
Yeah, he's proven it.
5-time champion.
Finals
MVP.
All NBA.
Duncan doesn't win a goddamn final without him. All those finals that came after Robinson left, none of them happened without Tony Parker. Just stop. We're so naive sometimes. It's actually unbelievable.
And if Big Shot Bob doesn't hit that shot in the 2005 finals, like, listen, two-time champ for Ben Wallace, and we're still kind of in this conversation. Like, the disrespect is there. We can see it. And whether he's at 70, 75, I could give two you-know-whats. It doesn't matter. The point is, you left off one of the greats in NBA history, a guy who, at his position, I would say, and I could argue, changed it for how undersized he was. A big part of NBA history is what Ben Wallace was able to do at his position, at his size, and they completely just disregarded it. I mean, the guy's a Hall of Famer.
I'm not placing too much emphasis on team basketball, Alex. You're not hearing me. I'm going to say it again. Ben Wallace is not in the 75 because of the 04 chip. He's in the 75 because he's one of the greatest defenders of all time. And again, if you don't want to take into account team accomplishments, you're not looking at the full picture. I can't take you seriously.
Yeah.
You have to consider individual and team accomplishments. It is why Jordan is the GOAT of GOATs, and nobody, and not just nobody. It's going to be tough for anybody really to catch him. I don't see anybody outside of LeBron ever really pushing MJ. Good luck. It's tough to do what MJ did. Really is.
I see people bringing up Grant Hill. Do you think...
Grant Hill, no, because the injuries. Again, you got to play long enough. You got to amass certain things and also have team success.
Yeah, you need longevity.
You can't just be a ball hog like James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard to an extent, and not be available like Anthony Davis and expect me to put you in the top 75. Giannis does not get into the top 75 without last season, in my opinion. The ring helps. It automatically solidifies him in there. Dennis Rodman paved the way for Ben Wallace, rebounding king. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Absolutely. Dennis Rodman, he gets a bad rap because he's a little cuckoo.
He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
He's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and North Korea. But it's okay. Him and Fish can go to North Korea together.
Oh, love it. Sign me up.
I don't know if that noise meant that you loved it.
It's like a shock.
I don't know. Well, look, I'll tell you what's not a shocker. Me going to the gym after this to Planet Fitness because I need a mental break and a physical break. I need to go let off some steam. I can't believe the writers don't have Ben Wallace in this list. It's absolutely a shame. But you know what? You know what's not a shame? The amazing people at Planet Fitness. Studio sponsors. Supporting the network. And they're taking your physical and mental health seriously. They're allowing you to work in a judgment-free environment. Guys, working out is so important for both your physical and mental health. Take it from me. I'm someone that does it every single day, or at least 5 days 5 days a week. You can start with Planet Fitness for $0 down, $10 a month. Your fitness is essential. Please take it seriously. And as always, visit them at planetfitness.com or stop by one of their many Metro Detroit locations and sign up today. Again, that's $0 down, $10 a month. Woodward Sports sent you. We'll see you after the break.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts. Adham and Jeff have great hair. Their sports opinions are pretty good, too.
That's why Sewell fell to you. Ding, ding.
MWS Live on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Before we get off the topic of the NBA, because I did see this on Twitter, I was talking about it with my friend Drew the other day. Steph, Kobe, LeBron, KD, Shaq, and Jordan. Who do you bench?
Steph, KD, LeBron,
Kobe, Shaq,
and
Jordan.
And Jordan.
That's your starting lineup. Who do you bench?
Okay, I'm starting Bron at 1, Jordan at 2, Kobe at the 3.
Shaq gets the 5 spot.
No, never mind. Scrap the whole list.
Go scrap the whole list. It's hard.
It is hard.
Give me the 6 players one more time.
Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, KD, Shaq, and Jordan.
Okay, give me Steph Curry, starting point guard. Kobe Bryant, number 2. MJ 3. LeBron 4, Shaq 5, KD's a bitch. Cool. I had to get that.
That was my list.
I'm gonna go Bron, Kobe. I'll go Bron, Kobe, Jordan, KD, Shaq. I'll have Curry benched.
Right.
See, you ruined the vibe.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Durant, alongside LeBron James, may be one of the biggest bitches we've ever seen in the NBA. And why would you want to have a bitch on your team?
All right, I'm not as much as I would love bitch to be a measuring factor. I really
it matters, man.
Listen,
it matters. I don't want to play with a bitch on my team.
I get you.
I don't.
I get you.
If I'm starting my franchise, I'm not starting my franchise
How do you
with a
measure
bitch.
bitch, though?
You just look at LeBron James and Kevin Durant.
It's hard. I mean,
Anyways.
it's a lose-lose either way. I mean, listen, these 6 of one of the greatest players, all of the greatest players. I'm going to bench Curry, and that's honestly, it's sad to say that. It's not even like I'm benching Curry. It's just I feel
I would never bench Steph Curry over for AD or excuse me, KD. KD can. Here, I'll put it this way because I don't think you guys are understanding me or where I'm trying to come from or how aggressive and how much I mean what I say.
Yeah.
If I was on a ship and I needed to cut loose with one person, tie an anchor, and throw him into the ocean, never to be seen again, KD's getting thrown off that boat.
Good.
I like the way you put it.
Anyways.
Somebody's got to speak the truth.
I like Ruel. I like Ruel in the chat. I am benching Shaq, playing Bron at the 5. Oh, that's a deadly lineup right there. I mean, listen, KD,
you're gonna have the softest player in the NBA on your roster.
There we go.
And you're going to tell him to play with guys like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, who are going to chew him out?
Come on.
Come on.
You're such a troll. I hate it. I hate you. But you're right, though, honestly. I mean, you're right. The guy's going to get bodied by Shaq, opposing Shaqs, and he's literally going to tap out. You're absolutely right. LeBron's going to say, you know what, guys, I'm done with this. Physicality's too much. Get in my shoes. I'm going home.
I
love it. That's a great opening, Maddie. I do want to switch to a program that is absolutely falling apart right now, and that's the Michigan basketball team.
Yeah.
Michigan State lost to Iowa again last night. I believe that's 5 straight losses. They're not looking any great either. We'll do how it's going with them later, but Jeff, how it started versus how it was going. 3 months ago, Michigan was ranked in the top 6 in the preseason AP polls. 3 months removed, they are unranked. 14 and 12? 14 and 11.
Mm-hmm.
Their coach just smacked an assistant on the opposing team. He's suspended for the rest of the regular season. What the hell is going on in Michigan?
That's a good question. And I think it's frustration from not meeting expectations. Like you talked about it before the season, they were ranked, and you saw a lot of freshmen coming in, a lot of young guys, and Juwan Howard. We're still high on Juwan, obviously. The mistake he made doesn't take away the fact that I think he's a good coach. And this year wasn't how they planned it to go. Very upsetting for them, and I think that's where the frustration kind of boils into that Wisconsin game because you're not having the season you expected. Players aren't maybe playing to what you expected. And then you have that type of result. You lose by 17 points, you full court press, and that happens. So with Michigan right now, they're in a bad spot. I mean, the problem I have is by doing what they did in Wisconsin, derails the season. Like, you're going to miss Diabate for a game. You're going to miss Williams for a game. You're going to miss Juwan for the rest of the regular season. It puts them in a very, very bad situation for them to even try and come out and win any games. Maybe they'll make the Big Ten, they'll make the tournament, the NCAA tournament. But the big part is the regular season matters. And Tom Izzo, he's there. They've, like you said, they've lost 5 out of the last, I believe, 5. They've lost all 5. So they've started off very good. They beat Michigan. Everyone remembers they beat Michigan absolutely, if you would argue, beat them pretty effectively, and now they've lost a couple straight. So both teams, in my opinion, are going through it. Both teams don't have that for sure number one guy on their team. Michigan State's always been a collective group that has been able to contribute. Same with Michigan. I mean, Michigan doesn't really have that top guy. They have Hunter Dickerson, but how's that going for them? 14-11. So both teams are in a tough spot, Adam. I think come the tournament, obviously, I have more faith in Michigan State considering how they have started the season. They lost and they had a tough stretch, but I think they could bounce back from it. The question I have shifts over to Juwan Howard and the Michigan, and how do they respond without Juwan? How do they respond without Diabate, Williams, and can they beat Michigan State in, I believe, about a week or so? So that's the big question I have. It's not about what they're going to do in the tournament. It's about, can you just save your season? Can Michigan save their season? Michigan State, I think, will be just fine. I'm not too worried about them. I like Tom Izzo a whole lot. If anything he's done, he's proven that he can turn around, especially a stretch of games. They lose a stretch of games. They can bounce back. The question I have is, can Michigan bounce back losing their head coach for the rest of the season? That's the biggest question. And I don't know the answer to that.
I don't think they make the tournament. Look, they got 5 games left. I think they go, 2-3 at best if they're lucky. 3 of the 5 games are against ranked opponents.
It's tough.
Good luck. Good luck, Michigan. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell Michigan fans this morning. You guys thought I was too hard on Juwan Howard. You guys are a bunch of babies. You can't be smacking and throwing haymakers at people. You can't be inciting a physical altercation and a brawl with a bunch of 18, 19, 20-year-olds who you are supposed to be the leader for and protect. He should have been suspended for the entire season, including NIT. I don't care what.
Yeah.
But I just think it's funny how the fall from grace for Michigan, it's truly, it's amazing. They were a 1 seed last year, I believe.
Yeah.
In the tournament.
Shocked a lot of people.
They get all the way to the Elite 8. Yeah, they get bounced out. Okay, whatever. Things happen. They come into the season as a top 10 team, and they're currently unranked, 14-11, and are struggling to play any little bit of basketball.
And to put it in worse terms, they regressed, bringing back their best player in Hunter Dickinson. So it's and they brought in a lot of good freshmen. So you're absolutely right. Their schedule's getting harder, and the confidence level with Michigan is honestly a little worrying, considering they won't have Juwan Howard the rest of the season. So you're absolutely right. They might even make the tournament, and that's the problem. Where were you last year to where were you this year? Consistency is important in any collegiate program.
Yeah, look,
you got to
man,
be consistent.
It's like, when you're single and you're just dating people.
Yeah.
And you go from dating a 10, she upgrades and she leaves you, and you end up dating, the girl that works across the street under the tree. I don't know. Who sells drugs? I don't know. My examples aren't the best this morning, but you kind of get what I'm saying.
You go from yay to...
Yeah, you literally go from the top to actual,
And they had
Alex is not having my references this morning. He's just looking at me like, what are you doing?
And they had an excellent recruiting class, too. I mean, it's
which
tough.
is odd. They have I think, an NBA prospect in Diabate, but he's been suspended. Well, not suspended. He's thrown punches now twice in less than 30 days.
I know.
The hell is that?
He's from the streets of France.
Oh, well,
he doesn't play.
Well, he's from the streets of France. The coach is from the streets of Chicago. That attitude doesn't work. You know what, guys? I get you got to bring in your own bit of culture and who you are and where you were from. It
100%.
matters. Stay true to yourself. When you're the executive and leader of any company program, you don't walk around, I'm from the streets of Chicago, bruh. What? You get street cred with what? A bunch of idiots? Why don't you win basketball games? That's what you're paid millions of dollars to do. Do that. Do that and educate these young kids on how to be mature, how to handle adversity, how to handle toxic, difficult situations. Don't sit there and escalate. Juwan Howard's a joke. Seriously, I lost a lot of respect for him, and I like him as a coach. I really do. But we got to go to break. When we get back, it's mailbag time. Guys, get your questions lined up in the chat. Jeff will tell you how to do it. Don't miss out. And don't be shy. Ask any question. Yes, any question. I'm being that serious. Ask away. But, Jeff, before we go, you got to tell us about the Foaling Warehouse.
And we talk about Foaling. Man, Foaling would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it, with NFL quarterbacks? But it would be even more fun if you bring your friends. And it's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. You can host your corporate party, team building event, or just come in with family and friends. They have 2 ways to play, $10 unlimited open play, or a private line reservation for $120 for up to 10 people for 2 hours. They have over 100 different beers. They also have a $2 mystery beer machine and multiple full bars. You bring the food or have it delivered in. Come get your full on. Check it out at foalingwarehouse.com.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in mailbag time, Jeff, let's get into it. Would you trade 2 and 32 for Chase Young in the number 11 pick?
No.
That's a tough one.
I had to kind of bite my tongue a little bit. Charles, yeah.
Charles, that's one of the best questions we've gotten, I would say, in the last 3-4 weeks.
That's a tough one.
That's a great
Because
question.
you can still get a guy at 11, and you get Chase Young, a guy who was a former number 2 overall.
But you can
pick.
draft an edge rusher at 2 younger with more years on his contract.
So I love this guy. So
You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Young's coming off an injury.
And didn't the Washington Commanders, the Washington Commanders, didn't they come out and say they would trade Chase Young for an established quarterback? I have questions if they trade for the number 2 overall pick because they can probably select the same quarterback at where they are at 11. But we're playing hypotheticals, and I wouldn't. That's my answer.
I like this question. What does Nikola Jokic need to do before he retires to be considered in the top 75? He's going to have to win in the postseason. And he's going to have to add a Defensive Player of the Year, some more All-NBA teams. I mean, he's got to build up a resume, but he's young enough to do it. So if I'm putting my money on him, I'd say he finds his way into that 75.
Yep, me as well.
Rule Black, the Wisconsin coach grabbed Juwan, and believe me, I am an MSU slap, so I don't care, but clearly Wisconsin guy grabbed Juwan, and Juwan was ignoring and walking by him. Okay, so Rule, if I may, I need to explain this in a different way because I don't think, maybe I'm not clear enough, I'm not sure, but we can't be that far apart in what we saw. There needs to be some common ground. So the common ground is the Wisconsin head coach stopped and grabbed, like you said, Juwan Howard. Are we all on the same page right now? Yes? That was the first initial action. Or was it? That was the first physical action. Prior to that, Juwan Howard had been behind his mask, wagging his finger saying, I'll remember that. I'll remember that. I'll effing remember that. Okay, fine. Whatever. Tension was high. I get it. But these two guys, you have to remember, these two coaches, every time they have played each other, have always embraced, grabbed each other, talked to each other. Juwan lost his cool. He overreacted. The coach didn't walk up to Juwan Howard like, hey, what the hell is your
shove
problem?
him or something, yeah.
It was, hey, Juwan, let me explain myself. Let me tell you what I did. Let me tell you what I did. And Juwan said, don't effing touch me. He grabbed him very aggressively and started continuing the whole, I would say, the escalation of the whole event. Juwan, not the Wisconsin guy. Come on, guys. Come on. Adam, you need to take your hate glasses off. I don't know. Honestly, I'm pretty neutral on Michigan and Michigan State. I'm seeing it for what it is. Fun question for everyone. What is your go-to stress relief activity after your sports team doesn't produce well in a game? Well, as a Lions fan for 28 years, cocaine is typically what I turn to because it gives me an immediate high after the low. Jokes aside, I don't know. I just do my best to cope with it. I really do. I don't know. It's a tough one. Adam, he already felt disrespected. Now you want him to stop him too. Let him get let him go at the point. What does that mean?
Like, you should have just let Juwan walk, probably. I think, is that what he's saying? He already felt disrespected.
Juwan was pressing full court on backups. So Juwan's allowed to do that. The coach isn't allowed to call timeout?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. I mean...
And you see the interactions they've had previously.
They're both at fault, but Juwan is the one that escalated. Yeah. And that's why he gets suspended.
And why did he feel comfortable going and touching Juwan?
Because he's had the same physical interaction with him every single time they have finished the game.
Bingo.
That's the second time. What, last year he threatened to kill the coach, didn't he? I'm from the streets of Chicago, bro. Really, that's the guy that's leading my program. I just don't get how we're looking at it in a way where it's not just, it is on Juwan. Because he escalated. What'd Ward do after? He was pulled away and he's like, what the hell's going on here? He was confused. He's like, I'm just trying to talk to Juwan Howard. Now, could you say he should have let him go? Fine, hindsight 2020. But Juwan's got to be better there, and that's why he's getting suspended. What other questions do we have, Jeff?
I see did Mark Aguirre get any love for the top 75? 2 rings with our bad boy Pistons. Also, arguably, the second best Maverick of all time. I actually didn't see where Mark Aguirre...
You know what? That's a good one. I don't think... I really have to look at the entire list, but, you know, if you want to put him over a Dame, I'm okay with that, so you can slide him in for there.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you see us actually getting a wide receiver in free agency?
No. Not a premier one. Maybe they'll sign who knows? Another Brashad Perriman, but I don't think they'll go out and get if the question is, will they get a Michael Gallup or a Chris Godwin or no, I don't believe so.
Funky brings up a good point. He's like, if he said I'm from the streets, I would point out that he ain't in the street anymore. And you know what? Like, again, that's where there's got to be a balance, right? Like, let's say, for example, I'll use my wife as an example.
Okay.
My wife is from the south of Lebanon, war-torn. I mean, you talk about bombings throughout 2006 when she was growing up, military actions throughout, whatever. I don't need to get into the details, but the point is, she came here and everything is so simple and everything is work, home, family, eat, sleep, buy, repeat. And it's just not their lives over there, right? It's totally different. You have to adapt. Now she brings part of her, right? That strong will, stand up for herself, stand up for others. That strong will, she brings it with her. But in places, you don't do it when she's managing at work. You don't sit there and be extremely hard on people. No, you try to support them, grow them, and help them get through whatever it is. And I feel like with Juwan, it's the same thing. Yes, use your experience and your life experience, but use it for good, not for bad. That's what upsets me about the Juwan Howard thing. Thoughts on re-signing Reynolds? I say do it. I do. I think Reynolds, Amon-Ra, Cephas, and if they draft a wide receiver, I like that going into 2022. I don't think you need an all-star crew of wide receivers to be successful with this football team, Jeff.
I'd agree with you. And I see the comment is Golden State still playing. Golden Tate, excuse me, still playing. We could probably afford him. Yes, you're right. But we had this conversation last offseason, and as much as I adore Golden Tate, and he would provide a lot of veteran leadership, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. And although last year I was high on it, I wanted Golden Tate just because you understand that Golden Tate isn't going to be expensive. But last year the problem was he was going to take away reps from guys like Quintez, Amon-Ra, and you didn't. Hindsight 2020, we now know a lot of those guys were injured later in the year. But this season, I probably wouldn't pursue Golden Tate. I want Amon-Ra to get all the receptions he can. You draft a guy, I want him to get as much playing time. Quintez, you want him to get as much playing time. So I would kindly pass on that. Should the Lions pursue any free agency players at this point? To answer the question, it depends on the fit, number one, and how much they cost. Because the Lions can certainly add depth. Depth's a good thing to bring up. You can add depth. But spending real money on anybody right now is just not the right move. It's too early in the rebuild. You can go out and sign a Michael Gallup, but how does that help your team? Short term and long term, because long term, depending on what deal he signs, or Chris Godwin for that matter, you're going to take a hit on the cap. And again, you have Jared Goff right now. You got to draft your franchise quarterback. So I don't know. I'm going to have to pass on that. Any free agents, if it's not depth moves, if it's trying to acquire somebody that's high profile, I'm going to pass on it this early. What other questions do we have? What do you think about re-signing Josh Woods? I like it. A guy that came from the actual Chicago Bears practice squad last year and actually had some production when he needed him the most. Alex Anzalone was out. You had Jerm that was out, I think, for one game. Josh Woods stepped in. I think he led the team in tackles in that game, so showed something. Showed he should be re-signed. Hot take, Devin Booker will end his career in the top 20 of all time. Wow. Well, honestly, Devin Booker's my favorite player. I don't know if I've ever said that personally, but top 20, it's quite an accomplishment. Anything else? We got 1 minute. Anything else? I don't see Lions being players in free agency till next year. I couldn't agree with you more, Charles. That's exactly how I feel. Is there an alpha receiver in the draft? I think there is. I mean, there's too much talent and depth at the wide receiver position not to at least have an alpha. You have Garrett Wilson. I mean, Chris Olave. Whatever your opinion is on him. Jameson Williams. There's got to be a number one. I like a lot of those guys, but is there going to be a Justin Jefferson? It's too early to say that, but I think to say is there an alpha, I would agree. Yes. No question about it. Why wouldn't you go after Williams? Safety from the Saints. I think, listen, he's 25 years old, and this is his first time to get paid. Like, this is his contract's up. He wants to sign the max he can, and I don't blame him. Your first contract up, he either wants the bag from the Saints or elsewhere. The Lions are going to be able to provide Marcus Williams the bag. I don't think so. Should they? I don't think so. So as much as I love Marcus Williams, it just depends on the price for a lot of these guys. And I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Morning Woodward Show. We'll be back tomorrow, same time tomorrow, 8 to 10. And have a good Monday. Or, excuse me, Wednesday. God, I'm getting my days messed up. See you guys.